All right, so let's get down to business. I just watched the Thai movie Hunger, and I'm still trying to determine whether or not I think it's one of the best movies ever made or one of the worst movies ever made. To start off, just to let you know, a lot of people are trying to say that this is somewhat close or anywhere close to The Menu. It is not. It has absolutely no campiness. There's no campiness. The Menu, if you want to know my opinion about The Menu, link is in the description to my video, my quick bit about The Menu. Please go watch that movie. It's really good. I'm not going to recommend this movie, but you can watch it if you'd like. There's a dub and a sub. So if you really want to get into what they really said, because there's always like mistranslation of everybody. So they just like make it very simple. So I'm not sure if I missed some things that could have been a turning point for me to pick either side of what I just said, whether I think it's the best movie ever or the worst movie ever. But main character is Oi, Bangkok. She is in her family, her father, because her mother is either passed away or gone, or I can't remember where she is. I think she's passed away. Ill father, younger brother, but he's older than the daughter, who is younger than the girl Oi. So they're in a little noodle shop and everything, and I hate this movie just for the simple fact that it shows what happens with women when we have ambition. Funny how Gordon Ramsay, you know Gordon Ramsay, everyone knows Gordon Ramsay. He gets to do whatever he wants, go across the world, do everything he wants, yes, and have tons of stupid restaurants. And then he still gets to come home and his family gets to talk about how a wonderful husband he is and a great father he is, even though he's never home. How do you have 10 billion TV shows and you are the best father in the world? That make no sense. How are you on 3 different channels at once? And yeah, you can be like, oh, he's not doing it all at the same time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's not doing it all at the same time. He's still dedicating more time to his craft than raising his children. Do not tell me he's a good father. Do not tell me he's a good father. Because if a woman, and here's the example, prime example, you cannot be a good daughter. You cannot be a good anything when you're a woman if you have ambition. That's why I hate this movie. And the reason why I love this movie is because it shows exactly what happens when a woman has ambition. Everyone around you tries to tear you down, and everyone around you tries to tell you, oh, you're not good enough. And when you are good enough, oh, was it worth losing everything? Gordon Ramsay doesn't lose everything. He still has a wife. He still has kids that talk to him. He still does TikToks with his daughter. Why is it that he gets to do everything in the world under the sun and still be revered as a good father, good husband, good man? Even though he cheated on his wife. Really interesting. I guess I have to say alleged because he says that he didn't do it, even though people are saying literally, like, I think it's funny. No one's ever going to say, yeah, I did it. No one's going to ever say that, yeah, they're racist. I think it's interesting that we get to just believe whoever says whatever but whatever, alleged that he allegedly cheated on his wife. But it's really interesting how he gets to be everywhere. I've literally seen him flirt with the girls on these TV shows. There was this girl that he just kept flirting with. Next Level Chef, just last week. Like, it's crazy. But he's a good father. He's a good husband. So let's talk about Hunger, shall we? Oi, living in Bangkok, living in her humble family noodle shop, making noodles, learned how to fry. I guess it's a boy that she likes, or a boy that likes her, who's like, oh, you should get into cooking, da-da-da-da. So now she's not even doing what she wants. She's being pushed to do something she doesn't want by this dude. I don't remember his name. I'm gonna just call him Old Dude because he makes me sick in this movie too. So she works for Chef. It's always a chef guy. And like I said, it is not like The Menu at all. It is 1 million. The only thing that has connected to The Menu is that there's food involved and commentary about the rich v poor. Anyone who says it's like The Menu did not watch it or did not care about what it was really about at all. But I will say, for those who really want my opinion about The Menu, please look at my video about it. Link is in the description. But what I will say about The Menu versus Hunger is I believe that Hunger is better. It's a better representation of discrimination, and literally the line that is between each class and each group of people, though in the menu, race was ignored. It's not necessarily that it's not ignored in Hunger, because from what I could tell, there wasn't a commentary about colorism that would be prominent in Thailand, would be prominent anywhere, but it's just more specific. Like, it literally is more specific when it comes to discrimination. It does not make it to where like women and men are seemingly equal, even though there's inequality that we're discussing, like it does in the menu. There is no discriminatory situation. They just talk about it. They just talk about Chef harassing a woman. We don't see that. We just see him get stabbed in the leg, while Hunger actually shows you the discrimination before your eyes, live and in stereo, right there in front of you. So I believe between the two, Hunger, even though both ignore race as a factor of discrimination and colorism, the menu does not even come close to how it is portrayed in Hunger. So anyway, Oi goes and works for this guy named Chef. I'm gonna just call him Chef because that's what he is. He's the head honcho, big kahuna. He bullies her, tells her she's not going to be anything. She's called trash. She's called garbage. She still stays up all night to work hard and do exactly what he says. And she finally makes it. She finally makes it to be a sous chef. She does the thing. She does one service for these rich people. It is still a commentary about rich people, but it's not in the way that the menu did it. It is more looking at the actual chef people than the rich people. The rich people are literally like animals. So she does the one service and then she's like, okay, cool. What do I do now? And he's like, you could take out the trash because you're garbage. Literally calls her garbage. Take out the trash because you're garbage. And she's like, I'm a sous chef. And he's like, what makes you think you're special? Because her thing is she wants to be special. And it's ridiculous why women cannot have ambition. Why can't we want something? Why can't we want something other than to be baby makers or other than to be housemaids? That's why I hate this movie so much. That's why I hate this movie so much. That's why I hate this movie so much. And that's why I love this movie, because it literally shows what we go through. He literally, I can't even talk about it yet. So she's sitting there literally destroyed, ovaries squished in his hands, because he's like, you are nothing. All you can do is fry. Cut this, just like dude over there. There's a bunch of chefs in there. There's an older chef, there's a younger chef, and there's just people in between, but they're all men. All of them are men. All of them are men. For some reason, women cannot be here for some reason. Even, how is it that women belong in the kitchen, but women do not belong as chefs or cooks? Excuse me while I throw up while you're answering, because what on earth? How does that even make any sense logistically? Anyway, so she makes a fool out of herself yet again, because he sets her for failure. He sets her up for failure every time. He knows that she cannot do this because she just got here. So he tells her to cut faster. She cuts herself. And then he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. You're nothing. Now go take out the trash. So she does everything he says, literally does every single thing, strokes his ego so well. It's still not good enough. And over time, people quit for different reasons. She's trying to practice. And then he's like, okay, so someone stole. So whoever stole, I'm going to call the police if you don't step up right now. Someone steps up and says, I did it. And he is like, you get out of here. You're not good enough to even be here. I only want people who can afford this food. So this guy's an elitist, by the way. For him to be talking all that smack about at the end, when I tell you what happens at the end, he's sure elitist right now. And he's sure elitist throughout the whole entire movie. So he kicks this dude out. 2 people get kicked out, but one of them is an old guy who stabs him. I was waiting for them to stab him. He's talking reckless. I don't care what job you've got. You are not talking reckless before someone stab you. I am so glad he got stabbed. And unfortunately, this girl literally goes to the hospital and helps him get better. And he still does not respect her. He still thinks of her as garbage. He still thinks of her as trash. And her turning point is when I think that this bird is sacred to Thailand. I'm not sure, and I'm not necessarily sure, or if it's endangered species, it's a bird. They go out with these rich people because here's an example. Here's something that I didn't talk about that happens early in the movie. There's this guy that he cooks for. He's like a private chef, or whenever they hire him, whenever a rich person hires him, he does whatever. There's this guy, he's like a literally a bachelor or whatever. He's got a bunch of women and he has a naked woman and he's like, here you go, just have her. And he's like, yeah, whatever. He does whatever the rich people say. He's a lapdog for rich people. Let me say this one more time really slowly. The chef, head honcho, big kahuna, is a lapdog for rich people. He never says no to rich people, ever. Never. He never says, no, thank you. I'm not going to rape this woman. He does so. He does so. And you could say, oh, it's not da-da-da-da-da. She was accepting of it, da-da-da-da-da. Shut up. You don't know anything about what that was entailed. You don't know if that's his friend or if that's someone that he's coerced into doing that for money because she is poor. Please do not talk to me about that. Please don't. I'm literally not arguing with you. So he does whatever. He's a lapdog for rich people. He goes out and kills this bird and he takes a picture with him and he's like, oh, take a picture with me, da, 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 da. And they're cooking and this girl's like, I can't do this. You treating me like garbage because I'm a woman. I can handle that. I can handle you treating me like garbage and treating everyone else like garbage. I can handle you treating me like garbage even after I helped you get better in the hospital and no one else was there because you have no family. And this is the one time that they're like, oh, he has no family, da, 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 da. Whatever. He's got money and he's fine. He's comfortable. He's comfortable in life. And in the hospital, he tells a little sad story about him being poor when he was younger. When everyone's got their sad story. That doesn't mean you be a jerk in your adult life. He was a baby or he was a child and he destroyed caviar and he ate it off the floor because his mom was like, I worked months to get that caviar. You better clean it up. So he ate it secretly. And he said it was nasty and it's garbage. And he's like, I can't believe that rich people want this garbage and da 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 da. And it was kind of like a commentary on, when I was younger, I realized what the rich people really were. So it's like he's something special because he had that epiphany when he was younger. Shut up. I cannot stand this dude. So let's get back to the bird, right? So this bird, she's like, I can't cook this bird. It's too sacred. It's too horrible. I cannot do this. She's like, my values. And he's like, all right, bye. See you later. She quits. With this dude, he's like, oh, you don't need chef. You'll be the best chef ever. And then there's this guy that's basically like an agent. And he's like, I'm going to make you a star. And he does. He gets her everything she needs. He gets her people. And she asks people who left the chef, the loser scum, left his kitchen. And she's like, work for me. And he's like, I'm sorry. I can't work for a woman. I'm so sorry. Your ovaries, I can't because like, I just can't. Like, what? Are you serious? Are you pathetic or something? Are you serious? So she has to get random people that she's never worked with before. And then she starts treating them poorly because when she doesn't, they don't listen to her really well. Like she literally has to fall in that line. She didn't want to, but they are better when she treats them like crap. And she burns the place down and she's like, she's got to keep trying, trial and error. And she turns her own restaurant. It's called The Flame. And she gets good. She's great. Everything's cool. She's the underdog. And the guy who is the agent was like, oh, here's this birthday party for this rich girl. And it's basically like a goddess themed birthday party where everyone's dressed up like Greek gods and all that or whatever. And turns out Chef is also catering that birthday party. So it's like verses. It's a verses basically. And she's upset because she's like, I don't want to have to see this man ever again. I left your kitchen so I wouldn't have to even talk to you anymore. And here you are. And basically they have a cook-off. She makes something, he makes something. She makes something better, he makes something better. She makes something simple because she's like, okay, this is the simple dish that I brought the very first time I ever cooked. And it's passed down generations. And then all he does is make water soup. And he's like, just simple soup because we are simply human. And it's just like, he literally outdoes her by doing nothing. And he's like, see, I will always beat you because I'm a man and you're a woman. Legitimately, that's exactly what he says. He's like, you can never beat me because they know who I am. They will always choose me over you, no matter what I make. I can make garbage. And he's literally looking at them sit there eating garbage, water, drinking water like it's great. It's just water. Like he literally didn't do anything to it. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in between. Like somebody literally dies. There's like murder suicide that happens with kid. And like that's way before this happens. But I just wanted to let you know, catch you up on speed so that doesn't kick you in the face when you watch this movie if you do. But that's kind of like has very little to do with what I'm mad about with this, like when it comes to the sexism. But he literally is like, you can't escape prejudice. You just can't escape prejudice. And he's sitting there smiling and she's crying. She's literally is not on the verge of tears. She's crying. She's crying. She's been beat. He literally set ablaze a carcass of meat and they were eating it like animals. And they just drank the water he made with like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It wasn't nothing special. Oh, I also forgot to tell you, old dude, the reason why I'm mad at old dude that he likes her or she likes him or whatever is because when she finally made it big, he's talking about, congratulations. You want me to congratulate you? Da 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 da. He's very salty. He's very salty because a woman is better than him, which is ridiculous because he's the one that put her in this position in the first place. It's ridiculous. Literally, I just want you to jump off a cliff. If you feel like a woman being better than you is the worst thing in the world, just jump off a cliff, please. Like, I cannot take this anymore. This is ridiculous. Why do we have to be lesser than for you to feel like anything in your life? That's a you problem. Sounds like a you gosh darn problem for real. Please jump off a cliff in Minecraft, please. Ooh, please go. Like, I can't anymore. It's really terrible. But like the worst thing to me, in my opinion, was the fact that when she made it big, she had her own restaurant, sending money home, getting everybody what they need, paying people's bills, paying people's medical bills because, can't work, da 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 da. I'll get a part-time job. I'll get it. No, you won't. No, you won't. She's paying for everybody's bill, paying for everybody's stuff. The brother gonna call her. This is before the party. Brother gonna call her and talk about, so when are you coming home? Let me whine to you and make you feel bad. We all miss you. And first he's gonna guilt trip her, talking about, can't do this without you. Why not? How about you do what you need to do? She's doing what she needed to do. She's sending you money. And he's like, I don't want to go to that restaurant. I want you to come here. I want you to humble yourself. Why don't you humble yourself? And when that doesn't work, he pulls out the, I miss you. You don't miss her. You miss the fact that she was doing everything around the house. You miss the fact that she was doing everything around the house. That's what you miss. You don't miss her. And she caught it. She clocked it. And then she was like, that was corny. Even though she's crying because she feels bad because he's made her feel bad about wanting anything in life. Like, this is ridiculous how women can't get anything. We can't get anything. We can't have nothing except be mothers and maids to everybody and to do everything so that everyone else can live their dreams. That's horrible. How do y'all not see that that's horrible? So let's just get this straight. So she's treated horribly by the chef, treated horribly by the guy that she's supposed to be in a relationship with or whatever, because he feels inferior. You should just jump off a cliff, bro. And then her family's not even going to support her dreams because, we want you back home. So let's get back to the party. Police show up because I told you that the guy that was like, I'm going to make you a star, the agent legitimately whistle blew because she literally, this is something that also happened. The guy who was like, I'm supposed to feel good that you're better than me now. Yes, you're supposed to feel good that she's better than you. Now what? But there's nothing to say because you'll never sit there with that. You'll just complain and whine. So after he complained and whined to her about how inferior he is, she's going to go out on a limb and talk to the agent and say, can you please help him? Begging for this scum-diddly-yum loser to get anything in his life, even though she's got burns and she's got pain on her soul that she worked hard for to get where she is. All it took for him was a little nepotism. Because she likes him, all she's got to go do is talk to this dude and he's going to be like, all right, done, I'll help him. Even though he literally said, this guy ain't got no talent. He garbage. You've got potential. You've got a gimmick. Literally, you're a woman. He literally knows that she's a woman and she's looked down upon. And he's like, that's a gimmick. But you better gimmick. You better gimmick, guys. You better do that. You better do what you need to do to get what you need. But anyway, so she's going to get this dude to help him. And in the side corner, off screen, the agent literally goes to the boyfriend or whatever, old dude, and was like, okay, I'll help you, but you need to help me. You need to tell me stuff about the chef so that we can get him out of here. And he gave him footage of him cooking that bird and all that. And everybody was looking at him like, you're evil, you're horrible, because this bird is sacred and this bird is endangered and this bird is cool. So he literally sits there in front of the cops, in front of the police, and says, yeah, I'm gonna get away with it anyway, because I'm a man. I'm the man. Not only am I a man, but I'm the man. So I'm going to get away with this. See y'all later. They know who I am. They don't know who you are. And it's confirmed that they don't know who she is because she's like, oh, what's your name again? I'm Beverly. Like, she doesn't even care what this girl's name is. And she hired her for her party. But she knows the chef and she wants to take a picture with the chef. That's literally what happens in the movie. So while she's sitting there crying because he literally embarrassed her, and then when he got arrested, she's like, oh, I can't believe that y'all did this. This was what bothered me about this. Why is it that women have to have some sort of high ground when it comes to stuff like this? Like, he literally did it. You literally quit the job, not because he treated you like crap, not because he forced you to get burned on your hands and arms, not because he treated you poorly even after you nursed him back to health in the hospital, but because he cooked up this bird that you refused to even touch, because he killed it and it was horrible. And then you're gonna talk about, I can't believe you did this to him. I can't believe you did this to him. Like, are you serious? Someone needs to slap her. That's horrible. What are you talking about? The whole reason why you stopped talking to him was because the bird. And then when someone tells the police that the bird was used and cooked and eaten, and he's the one that did that, you're gonna say, oh, I can't do this no more. I'm done. And she literally leaves her restaurant. She literally tells the agent, I can't do this no more. She tells her boyfriend goodbye and goes home with her tail between her legs, and her little sister, her brother, and her father all sitting there talking about welcome back. So you finally came back. What took you so long? You finally came crawling back home, huh? Like, literally, she literally goes back to her humble beginnings, left everything that she worked hard for. It's not even like she didn't even, and even if a woman rolls around in the bed with some guy, that is literally work, because they feel repulsed by that horrible, horrible idiot. She didn't even do that. She worked hard as all get out and burned herself and made herself bleed so that she could be better. And then she's going to leave it all and go home and then have her family in her face talk about what took you so long. That was not her life to live. Her life, she did not want to live in no back alley dive. And it's fine. Like, literally, it's fine. But in this instance, this singular instance that I'm talking about, it is not fine. She worked too hard to go back home for them to be like, what took you so long? Her life is what took her so long. She wants a life. She wants a life beyond where she started. She's going backwards now. And that is why I hate this movie. 0 out of 10. I cannot stand hunger. I can't. And then what I say, if this is a commentary on what happens with women everywhere, either you're the best in the world and you're just like the Devil Wears Prada, where no one likes you, you don't have a love interest at all, everyone thinks you're horrible, they call you B behind your back, they literally treat you like garbage, curse your name every day, and then the Devil Wears Prada girl loses her boyfriend or whatever, he's like, oh, you change. No, I'm upgrading my life and I'll find someone better than you. I hated the Devil Wears Prada at the end because she went back to the stupid idiot. But you either are the Devil Wears Prada and you're literally called the devil. You're literally called the devil. Or you go back home and you get pat on the head. Oh, girl, you tried. You tried to have it all, but you can't. You got to be somebody's nursemaid. She's literally back to her dad's nursemaid. She's either going to be popping out babies with that dude or a nursemaid. And then he's going to make sure that she never forgets that, oh, I'm better than you because I get to have everything I want. You're either the devil or you're somebody's nursemaid. That is pathetic. No one wants that life. If men were in that position, they would not want that life. In fact, Gordon Ramsay, the example I'm giving everyone, because everyone knows Gordon Ramsay. If I say Bim Bombo Billy, like, you don't know who that is. You know who Gordon Ramsay is. He gets to have a family. He gets to still be married. He gets to still have these kids that how can you see them when you've got 10 billion shows in different countries and you're going and climbing up Himalayan mountains? Like you are not at home as much as the wife is. You are not at home as much as the wife is. Do not even play me. Whether you cheated on her or not, you get to have it all. You get to have billions of restaurants. You get to do all this and get to take pictures with people and people know your freaking name. But women can't, even though women quote unquote belong in the kitchen. That makes no sense. We can't have a cake. We can't eat it. We can't have nothing. And that's what this movie is. It's about women working so hard to end up with nothing in the end anyway. Because the guy literally said, I forgot to tell you. Here's the worst part of the movie. When she has it all, the chef comes into her restaurant, and I don't know why she didn't call the police immediately. I don't know why she didn't say, I feel unsafe around this man. She lets him in and cooks for him and then asks what he thinks. And he's like, oh, what I think doesn't matter anymore. You're a better chef than me. It only matters what your customers think. And then he's going to make it seem like she's in the wrong. He's like, oh, sometimes you kiss the tush of a rich person. Oh, interesting. That's what you did. And not only that, you sold your soul for it too. So what now? She didn't even have to sell her soul. How you feel? She didn't have to sell her soul how you feel. But he's going to talk down to her, talking about, oh, now you're at the whim of rich people. You're at the whim of rich people. What makes you so different? Oh, yeah, I'm a woman and you think less of me. That's why. You can do it and you can do whatever you want. But the moment I do the same thing that you're doing, it's a problem now. And I'm making more money than you. It's really ridiculous that she even entertained him in her restaurant. It's her restaurant. She said, we're closed. And she still fed him. And then he's still going to tell her, oh, you're going to lose everything. I bet you already lost your boyfriend, didn't you? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You can make a family. You can make a family. Literally, if she lost her whole family, she can make a family. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because women have to prioritize everybody, and the dirt under their feet before themselves. And that is why I hate this movie. And that is why I understand this movie, because that's literally what it is, literally how it is. If you cannot listen to a woman speak these things that happen, if you think, oh, that's just make believe, watch this movie and you'll understand. It is exactly what happens. She worked so hard, bled, burned, and still had to go back with her tail between her legs and serve her father. Like it's literally the phallical symbol of the pain and suffering, the misery cycle. Like it's literally, that's what it is. That's why I say this movie is so genius and this movie is so awful, because I don't want to see this anymore. Like movies are meant to, like, why can't I have a movie where I'm just like, cool, this is a happy ending for this girl. I wanted her to have everything and get everything and have everything she wants and have the boyfriend. That's why I like The Glory. Because The Glory was a woman's story with women alliance, never breaking apart, and the woman getting what she wanted and the boy to boot. She had the boy. She had the boy. Power couple. If you want to watch something amazing and cool, there's sadness. It's horrible. People bleed, people die. The Glory on Netflix is wonderful. Hunger on Netflix, not so much in my opinion. But it will explain I don't need to watch this movie. I've been there, done that, living it right now. Been there, done that, living it right now. I don't need to see a woman suffer and then get nothing in the end for it. I don't need to see it. But if you don't understand the plight, then I suggest you watch this movie, because it will legitimately explain something that you obviously don't understand. And I am so done. I am so done with this video. I am so done. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share. If you want to see me play video games, I play video games on Twitch. The Princess of Darkness _ between all of those words. Very interesting. There are some guys who don't even believe that girls belong on Twitch, because they're like, oh, they don't do anything. I play video games legitimately. And even if a girl is sitting there in a bathtub or whatever, doing whatever on Twitch, y'all are there giving her money. Shut up. Like, literally shut up. I am so sick of hearing guys talk about how girls don't belong somewhere.
you don't belong somewhere. How about that? Just because you're a guy. But, oh, wait, what about men's rights? Oh, like, literally, Minecraft. Literally, like I said, off a cliff, Minecraft. I'm done. Done.